Welcome to CityBiz. We are at the end of October. Can you believe it? End of October. We are about to steamroll into the short month of November. I'm Melinda Arndt here with CityBiz and Michael Halley, our source of information about all things CityBiz here on Fairfield Public Media. So you'll probably be seeing this either on Halloween or Halloween weekend, but if it's before Halloween, look forward to a good Halloween. Just dress warmly.
Yeah, it's going to be a cold one this year.
And we will be talking about some outdoor things. In fact, we're going to kick it off talking about some of the projects going on that you might notice around town or have noticed around town. You were mentioning some Petra's Place.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of activity at Petra's Place, which is the former site of Tribune Printing.
Yeah.
And Alex Stanley is working on that as a private project that when it's complete and it becomes this nice outdoor park, he'll grant it to the city. So they are making a little bit of progress, kind of cleaning up some of the debris, prepping for plantings, though now that we've had early winter.
They may have to wait to do those till the spring. But you might notice the planter boxes look more complete. That torn up area where they were having to test some asbestos or something underneath that seems to be done, right?
Yep, yeah. The asbestos removal is done. It wasn't a whole lot, it was done in a day, so that's complete. And so they do need to do some grading work to make it all level, and then the plantings on the west side, and then the planters, which are the concrete blocks, those are planters. And then the contractor is actually building the pergola for the east entrance, and some of the stuff that'll go in the park in their warehouse in Des Moines. So there's some work being done off site that we don't see. So
and it will magically appear.
Yep,
yes.
One day it'll show up and it'll be really great. So keep your eyes open. But another project that I think is a really beautiful project that did get complete is new playground equipment at Howard Park.
Yes, if you haven't been by to see it, if you didn't make the last farmer's market or two, it is up and running. I saw so many kids playing on it last Saturday.
Yep, so that was spearheaded by two moms, one of whom actually moved away from Fairfield but continued to work on it.
Wow.
And so that shows real commitment. These two moms who just realized that there were not enough opportunities for the kids who were coming, especially to the farmers markets on Saturdays, to play. And they were standing in line just to use the swings, and then the slide got damaged, the metal slide, and then that had to go.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It got torn up to the point where it was dangerous. And so they fundraised for a really nice playground set that's got multiple slides and climbing features, and that was built by volunteers, and I was there, and my son was there, and it was really kind of fun family bonding moment to work on. And all just community dollars. So Park and Rec chipped in for the mulch, a little bit, but it didn't cost taxpayers.
It was all grassroots.
Yep, it's all grassroots. Those are the kind of little mini projects that can be sustained forever. If
they're really fulfilling.
Donors who want to do those kind of things and there's a need, we can do those forever. It's the ones that I don't use the word burden, but that the taxpayers pay for, like the pool and gym. You have to be more strategic about those.
Right.
So it's wonderful that project got complete. The timing wasn't great because now we have a really cold fall.
Now it's a cold fall, and the last Saturday market was last Saturday. So the farmers market will move indoors now. No playground there at the community center, but hopefully we'll have a few more. We just had these early snows that might warm back up a little bit into the 50s for a few days. We'll see.
For a few minutes.
For a few minutes, people might still get to go use that playground, but
it'll be waiting there in spring. It's really a great amenity. Also, downtown project we should talk about is the two-way restoration of Broadway and Court. So the council will be voting whether or not to move forward this fiscal year, which means before end of June 2020, at our November 12th council meeting. So typically we meet the second and fourth Mondays. That Monday is President's Day, so we'll be meeting on the 12th, which is a Tuesday. And so the right avenue for getting your input to council is not Facebook. It is emailing, phone calling. And so those email addresses and phone numbers are on the Facebook page somewhere. I think
and also if you call City Hall.
Yep, City Hall. And the city's new nice website. So we just revamped our website. The city website looks better than it's ever looked, much more user-friendly.
Oh, great.
And pretty and modern and just really...
That's City of Fairfield.
City of Fairfield, Iowa.
CityofFairfield.com.
And if you go there, you click City Council. There's a little bio and the email and phone numbers for all 7 council members.
So that's where you want to go for your comments. And just a reminder that the map, I think, of what the street will look like is there. And probably Jason will work his magic and have that showing here. But it will still be one way for just one block on the east and west side of the square, correct?
Just Main Street will remain one way.
Oh, just Main. Oh, Court will turn into two-way the whole length.
The 3 blocks of Court and the 3 blocks of Broadway. And there's a lot of misinformation going around that the nodes will be destroyed. That's not true at all. There'll be slight reshaping of a few. That's
just to allow the two-way.
Just a couple of feet. Probably wouldn't even disturb the plantings in them, and just to allow for the parking access so that there'll be no loss of parking. So I'm maintain the same number of parking spaces, minimal change to a few nodes, just a little bit of reshaping.
Okay, so Main Street will still be one way just from Burlington to Broadway.
Yep.
And the whole rest of the streets that are currently one way will turn into two-way.
Yeah. And
that's good. I had the misunderstanding too. I thought Court would. So,
no. So Main is just there's a couple of little issues. It's narrow. Over by Landmark Inn, it narrows.
Yes.
It's difficult for 2 lanes of traffic, even though it's made for 2 lanes in one way. You very rarely can fit them.
Yeah.
And then dealing with sending traffic southbound onto Highway 1 at the intersection of Burlington and Main would be troublesome because of the traffic tends to back up along Main Street.
Okay, so Main will stay one way for 2 blocks?
Just for now.
Okay. Well, there's my complete understanding.
Yeah.
Main is the only one that will still remain one way for practical purposes at the moment.
Yeah.
Unless
at some point maybe that could be fixed. But the issue that we've had from visitors is that 84% of town squares in county seats like Fairfield are 2-way. So it's what people are used to, and they're just not, if you're not from town, you don't know that you can't turn onto Court from Burlington.
And I saw someone turning west onto Broadway from B Street, and I was waving at them like, nah, it's a one-way.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. And about half of those people are locals. I think that there's this thinking that you can just get away with it for a block and save yourself a trip. I was in a rush the other day, and I had to go from Burlington around to Court Street, and then I wanted just to skip back to Briggs and go back to my office, but instead I had to go down and around. And it's people like to be in a rush, and some people want to return Burlington to 4 lanes so they can drive faster, which may not happen, but we talk about the 2-way, and some of the same people say the 2-way is not a good idea, though it would make travel faster. So there are benefits to it. So give your input, and you can actually come to that meeting if you want to come Tuesday, November 12th, 7 o'clock, City Council at City Hall, and there'll be a public hearing for people to speak.
Great, so circle that date if the downtown streets are of interest to you. If you're, I guess that's it. If you want your comments, if you want to register some comments about that.
Yep.
Facebook is great for communicating in some ways, but with your city council person.
Yeah, not very many council members or city employees see the Facebook comments. I do because I manage the page.
But yeah, so you want to email directly or call directly your council person if you can't make that meeting, or even if you can, do both.
It's a good idea. All right.
Another city street.
Yeah, Highway 1.
Highway 1.
So for years, many years, the city has had this project in our back pocket to convert Highway 1, or South Main, from Fillmore down to Libertyville Road from 2 lanes to 3. So 2 lanes and a middle turn lane. In a separate grant process, the Trails Council procured a grant to put a 10-foot paved trail on one side. It was initially going to be paved the shoulders, and then it turned into a standalone trail. And in conversations with the Department of Transportation, who maintains the highway, they decided to fund the project, incorporate the trail, and fund most of the entire project themselves to convert from 2 to 3 lanes. So the city hired an engineering firm called Shive Hattery, and they have offices around Iowa, and hired them to do a traffic study of the intersection, South Main / Highway 1 and Libertyville Road, and to give a design recommendation for what to do at that intersection and how to handle sidewalks and trails and the like. And so they did the traffic study, and they presented on Monday, I forget the exact day, but about a week and a half ago, to the council in a special work session. And in their presentation, they compared the current traffic controls with the two stop signs.
Yeah.
Yep. They graded that in terms of multiple criteria. You know, does it move traffic well? You know, how long does traffic have to wait? Safety, all that kind of stuff. And then they did that for a 4-way stoplight scenario. So putting in stoplights all 4 directions. And they rated that as well. And it was much better than the current 2-way stop sign. And then they rated it for roundabout. Same rating system. And the roundabout came out above and beyond the others for the reasons of it's safer. When the cars aren't driving perpendicular to each other, it reduces side swipes or crashes, you know, when one car hits the side.
Right.
And although it does take a little bit of getting used to, the traffic rule is pretty simple. It's yield to the left. So you approach the roundabout, you look left. If someone's coming, you wait. If no one's coming, you go.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward. And then it's safer for the people crossing on bikes or pedestrians, because as they cross one lane, you form these channels similar to the quiet zone medians where you've got a barrier between. So as they cross one, they only need to check the one way, and then they get across, and now they're on the island between, and now they just look the other way. So they're only dealing with one direction at a time. And the island in the middle will be designed to be long enough for a bike with a trailer. So in case somebody's riding the trail with the trailer in the back with their children, they can fit comfortably in there waiting for their chance to go. So a driver approaching just needs to see if there's anyone crossing or about to cross, and then they move forward, and then they yield to the left, and then they go. And so the roundabout will be safer, move traffic more efficiently, and will cost less to maintain. And so that's taxpayers' money that would be the maintenance cost, so saving Fairfield residents some money compared to a traffic light. Okay, and does that have one more reading, or that's been submitted, that's kind of in the works? What's interesting is it wasn't the city's call. Yeah. So all that the city did was we took the design recommendation from the engineer, and then we did a letter of support that would be sent to the DOT, the Department of Transportation. They make the final decision. They'll probably make it here in the next few months. Okay. Though they will take our letter of recommendation to heart, partly because we used a design firm, you know, an engineering firm to design it. So a lot of people on Facebook saw the little 15-second flyover, but may not have watched the 45-minute presentation from the engineering firm, which really got into that grading system that I talked about. So I don't like to think that people think their comments aren't heard or respected, but a comment on a Facebook post doesn't get seen by the full council or many city staff, and so it's kind of like yelling in the wind. You know, it's lost in the noise. So again, direct contact with your representative, your elected representatives, is the right way to go if you want to give input on these things. So that's done as far as the city is concerned, and now it's in the DOT's. And I imagine it won't be until next spring that they actually start. No, it's a longer process than that. Yeah. So it'll be a while before anything But to happens. Finish the design, it's got the roundabout, 10-foot trail on the east side of the street from Libertyville Road down to Fillmore, and then a 5-foot wide sidewalk on the other side. So we're beefing up our pedestrian and bike access as well. Hey. And we got that middle turn lane. It should really improve traffic flow. And then the DOT will likely slow traffic a bit on the north side of the roundabout. So traffic coming from the bypass or coming from Highway 1 into town, they'll have to slow to get around the roundabout, and then they'll just keep them slower from there on in. Instead of having them accelerate back to 45 miles per hour, it'll probably keep them, I'm guessing, 35. Yep. 35.
It's all right. We're getting more bike and foot friendly.
Yep, exactly. That's the best part of the project, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is adding those features.
Well, it's great hearing about these outdoor projects, which we will see come into being, even if not immediately. Well, the playground equipment, that's already there.
Yep. Well, yeah, we're heading into the cold.
We're heading into the cold, but we're also heading into the first week of November, so we do have elections coming up. Right. And be sure to vote. Make sure you're registered. We've got the mayor election, and of course, you're very familiar with that, and school board, as far as I know.
Yeah, there's several city council seats as well.
So yes.
And then school board. So this is the first time that the school board and the city elections are at the same time. It's actually a really smart move because it should increase voter turnout.
For the school elections, because often, I always go to those, and they usually get low turnout. So
so it'll really be a good thing. And it's Tuesday, November 5th. You can do early voting. If you go to the auditor's office at the courthouse, you can get an absentee ballot, fill it out, and hand it in.
You can do that.
So that's an option if you're not going to be here. But it's coming up.
It's just next Tuesday, so if you have your, it's at the usual polling places.
Yes.
Usual polling places unless you vote early.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then meanwhile there's Halloween. So.
Oh yeah, cold Halloween.
You know, always seems to be such a popular holiday, and you will see kids out. So drive carefully if you're driving around town at dusk. And
actually, I want to give a shout out to the October Society, who decorated Central Park. They decorated the gazebo with some scarecrows.
I'm
not sure if they got all vandalized, but they were up for a while. And I haven't been there, but I know there's some kind of Halloween fall music playing in the gazebo. It's been playing this week and will be up till Halloween. So this was the first year that this has been done, and it's just to add a little bit of kind of the Harvest Festival feel to our downtown. So thank you to the October Society.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in to CityBiz. I'm Melinda Arndt.
I'm Michael Halley.
And we will see you after Thanksgiving, or right before Thanksgiving, actually. Right around then.
Come to your house for Thanksgiving.
You
never know.
Watch out for us. See you next time.